Hello and welcome to another episode from the Water's Edge. And today you catch up with us back down Reepham Fisheries, and we're here today for the Water's Edge Spring Trophy match. Now a few months ago, if you follow our channel, you might remember we fished the lake just over there, the main lake, and it was a very tough match in the middle of winter, mega hard conditions. Jack managed to come out on top with that one, and since there he's turned into a bit of a venue expert actually. We had a festival down here, he has perfect score with 3 out of 3, and he is fishing again today in the spring episode of the Water's Edge match. So the bench is probably set, we know who we've all got to beat. It's a nice small lake, we're choosing a different lake this time. We're fishing the Bungalow Lake, or the Lily Lake as they call it. Nice and compact, I can see everyone. So initially we're going to talk you through my match and what I'm doing, but like I said, as I can see everyone, I'm probably going to take pointers from them and we'll see what we can do. This has not been kind to me this late before. I've had a couple of matches on here and I've not done well, so fingers crossed today it can all go well. I'm just going to finish my coffee, go and get the draw ready, and then we'll catch back up with us on the box when I'm drawing the peg, and we'll talk to you about what we're going to do today. Okay, so we're all set up. We've drawn peg 5. I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. I said to Chris on the way down here, if I wanted anywhere, I'd want to draw one of the corners with a margin to my left or right. So if you look behind me, I've actually got a decent area to my left out of the way and quiet. It's quite small, but quite close. To my right, I've got Dave, which I'm pretty happy with. So he worked with Dave, so we've got a pound on this. This is more important than winning. But my main attack is going to be fishing short. Purely because originally, a couple of weeks ago when we fished it, a lot of fish were caught short, and with them being small, it's just easier to catch them there if you can. But obviously the problem I've got and what I'm worried about is with the camera behind me and movement, I'm a bit worried I'm not going to be catching them as short as I can. So I'll start on perhaps my top kit +2 and try and come short if I can. If it doesn't work, then we'll just have to go longer. So I'm seeing what other people have done the far bank, they've set up a lot longer, so I might not catch there. If I don't, we'll have to adjust to it. But rig wise, I've kept it really simple. Got 12 hollow elastic, 013 mainline, 0.3 gram float, and then the shot and pattern is just a standard bulk with 2 droppers. I'm going to feed probably 3 lines to start. I've got a couple of rushes either side, so I'll start on either of those, and then perhaps one in front of me. One line will be on pellet, one line will be on maggot, and then down that edge there, about 13 metres, I'm going to be fishing loose ground bait and worm. We've done a video on that before, it worked really well, and it's something I'm confident with, so down there is what's going to be happening with that. But I make it about 45 seconds to go, so I'm going to get baited up, get ready. Everyone looks like they're up for it. There's been absolutely loads of abuse going on already, and hopefully we're going to have a good match. If we change things, we'll tell you as we go along, but like I said, the main attack is going to be constant drip feeding short, and hopefully I can catch them really close, because that's when you're going to do a weight. But if I can't, we're going to go longer like we said. So another 30 seconds, we'll give it the all in and see who can do it. I think probably, if I was going to say anyone who's looking good, Rick's in the corner. Rick owns the fishery. My brother's got another decent corner, and Dan down there's got a decent corner as well. So there's a few people and have all got nice corners to fish in. Jack, who we mentioned earlier, who won last time, is 2 to my right in the middle of the bank, but that probably doesn't mean anything. And then obviously dotted around, everyone has got a little bit of room. So all to play for, and we'll hope for a good match. But I make that time, so all in everyone. That's it, all in. Right, okay, so we're going to start right in front of us, and I'm going to bait the 2 reeds either side of me, and we'll go from there. Jack is already in, not even had a rig in the water yet, but it's going to get pellets to my left and probably maggots to my right down here, so that's what we're starting on anyway. We're into the second fish. I'm not quite catching as quick as I'd like to at the start, but I did say we've made a bit of noise, so that might be the situation. Now, why we said we're going to try and catch short is because obviously that's probably the average size. I'm hoping that down that edge later on, I won't give it too long, but I'll try down there and they might be bigger fish. Jack's already had 5 or 6, I think, and Rob opposite him has probably had the same as well. Normally the middle pegs here are okay, so they're both catching short, so I think we're doing the right thing. I'm just going to keep, for what I'm doing now, going to carry on doing the same. Like I said, top 2 plus 2 isn't too far, and at the minute I'm just catching on pellet, feeding 4 mils over the top, and then we've got the maggot line that we said a bit closer in. If they come that close it'll be great because it's just so much quicker, but yeah, it's a bit undecided if it's the right thing to do at the moment. I'm going to plug away for a little bit, but I'm looking up the bank and I'm already 5 or 6 fish behind, which isn't a great start. Well, if I'm honest, that hasn't really worked, to be honest. I think I'm miles behind everyone. I'm getting beat by Dave next to me. Jack and Rob are doing well. I think Parker is doing well, and my brothers. There's loads of people catching, pretty much apart from me. So slight change of plan. I've just cut a load of ground bait down that edge. To be honest, if I think I'm going to do anything, that's going to be where it happens. But I'm just down. I'm going to try these little rushes down. There's a few fish knocking in there, just surprisingly. I expected to catch down there, but it's not happening at the moment. It's going to be down the edge or nothing, I think. But there's certainly loads of fish coming out. I've had 4 or 5, but they've been really small. And a few other people I've seen catch have caught a lot bigger fish, but they're all fishing. Yeah, if you look around, everyone is fishing almost on the top kit. So I'm hoping that they're either not here and they're going to turn up, or we're going to change something and we'll find out what's going on. Currently, at the moment, the only thing that's happening is I'm getting absolutely abused. I generally haven't had a bite for probably nearly 45 minutes, an hour perhaps. I've gone down the edge, nothing. I tried both my short lines, nothing. I've gone long and I had nothing. Thinking of a new plan, to be honest, because I just don't know what to do. Rob and Simon are probably winning, or Dave and Jack, like that middle channel, I would probably say is doing the best at the moment. But what are we? We're an hour and a half in, so there's still things to try. As Jack went slapping earlier up in the water, but I don't think that worked, so perhaps that isn't the answer. And currently at the moment I don't really know the answer, so what I initially thought was going to be a fish race for everyone is now just turned to just get a bite at the minute. But yeah, abuse is on the cards at the minute. That is it, nothing else. Finally we've had a bite. I had to go longer to 13 metres to catch it, but at least it is a bite. I'm miles behind, but he's not going to really do any damage, is he? But at least we've had a bite. That has taken an awful long while. All I've done is I've put a toss pot on the end of my pole, cupped in a few micros, and just fished an expander over the top. I'm going to give that a go for a while now, see if that makes any difference. I don't really know what's winning. What have you honestly got, Simon, Rob? Helpful as ever, so we haven't got a clue what they've got. I would guess that they've got 25-30 fish, so they've had a few, and I think Rob's got slightly bigger fish. So if I was guessing a winner now, or who's leading now, I would say either Rob or possibly my brother down the corner there who's doing well as well. So the problem is no one tells you the truth, so I ain't got a clue really what weight everyone's got. I just know they've got a lot more than me at the minute. But on this line, I'm just going to feed micros. Like I said, fish a 4 mil expander over it, and I'm going to keep putting bait down the edge, because I think that's the only way I'm going to get out of this is if I catch down there. But at the minute it's not looking hopeful, I must admit. Well, second fish on that line, but to be honest, going nowhere fast, just falling further and further behind. I'm going to give it one more go out there. If not, I'm going to have another look down that edge, but micro fish at the minute. Every time I look up, someone seems to be getting a bigger one, but I don't know what it is. I've got no answers at the minute. Plug away and see what happens at the end, really. But I did say before that this lake is, well, for me, I must be cursed on it. Because, yeah, this is my third match now, and it's going to be another bad result. But that is fishing. I would still say it's between 4 people, which is Simon, Rob, Jack, which are in that middle channel, and Matty on the end. Probably with Rob winning at the moment, I would say. He's fishing down the edge now and he's catching some decent fish, and that does make a difference. If you can catch, I mean, like for here, this lake, you're probably talking 1 2 pound fish is a decent fish. If you can catch them rather than like them hand-sized last 2 that you've seen, obviously you don't need to catch anywhere near as many. That's why I was hoping I was going to catch down my edge, but I haven't had a single bite at the minute. But we're not quite halfway through yet, so if they come down there late, there's always an option. There we are, that's the first edge fish of today, and if I get that hook out, he's going mental still. You can see why. That's where you need to catch them. They're a lot bigger down there than the hand-sized one we were catching, and that makes a big difference. Obviously there's probably 4 fish to one of these, and I think that's probably why, like I said, Rob's winning at the minute, because he's been catching a few of them, and that does make a difference. But first bite down there, you never know. We might catch a couple down there now, and it's give me a little bit more confidence. So that's where I'm going to go back down, just fishing worm down there, big bits of worm. It's just easier to fish a big bait down there, stops foul hookers, and it's very visual in amongst that ground bait. So fingers crossed we might get the odd bite down there now. Well, we are 3 hours in basically, still miles behind, but the third fish now down the edge. I think it's gone a little bit quieter over the other side. Possibly Brothers on the end there, he's catching okay, and down the edge as well. So like I said, bigger fish. So I think Jack's in it as well. There's a few people, like the 4 people who were in it from the start are probably still in it now, so it's not over for them. It's probably over as far as it goes for me, but it yeah, it's like, as far as the match goes, it's still pretty good. I think realistically for me now, it's just going to be concentrating down this edge. Not much has happened elsewhere, so I don't really see the point in just getting like the odd small bite down the middle for sort of a few ounce fish. I may as well sit down here, try and force it, try and feed it perhaps heavier, and see if I can get 3 or 4 bigger fish to come in together. If you can start putting a chain together, as anyone knows, you can do weights down the edge pretty quick, but you do need them to come in any sort of numbers, and they're just not doing it at the moment. So that is my plan. I'm just going to fish probably down the edge. I might even put 2 lines in down the edge and try and really force it, but yeah, as far as winning goes, I think that's over now, and it's a match between those 4 really. Well, we've got about 45 minutes ish left, and it, to be honest, has gone very quiet for everyone. Jack's fishing for roach actually, which I think is a good idea because I think he's relatively close. Dave's followed suit next to me because I'm going to end up owing him £1. That's the worst news for me of the whole day actually. This never got started for me, but it's now shutting up for everyone else as well. I think the only one really catching is probably my brother. I think from what I can see, he's fishing shallow next to a lily pad. and I would say it's between him and Rob, and if he keeps catching for the rain and time, it could be very close, but I think Rob's still ahead. But I have been facing the other way, so I'm not 1,000,000% sure on that one. But I know one thing for sure, and that is that I'm miles out of it. But carried on doing what I said basically. I fished down the edge to my left. It's not really took off. I've had the odd fish, probably 5 or 6 fish down there, and that has been it. It just hasn't gone at all today on any line. Nothing I've done has made a difference, but the odd one of these just randomly comes in and the float goes under. It's real frustrating really, because if you could put them together, they're good weight builders. But yeah, I'm not gonna change. I'm just gonna fish down that edge now for the rest of the time. If I can put a couple more fish together. I've got one target now, and that's beating you, Dave, but you stop catching them roach. But yeah, it's been really grim, and it's going to be close, I think. At least it's been relatively exciting between the people who have got a chance. But after every fish, I'm just going to give it a big pot now. There's no point trying to hold back and get the odd bite. It's all or nothing for the last half an hour, but it's pretty much been nothing for me from the start. Not good at all. Well, we've got 15 seconds left, and it is, well, the story of frustration, because the last 20 minutes has been loads of fish down my edge, and I just, you know, like, at least it shows, that's it everyone, at least it makes you feel a little bit better that they perhaps weren't there, because I haven't changed anything, they just turned up. That's just part of fishing, I guess. But yeah, I've certainly done no good. I'm praying that I've beat Dave, but I still don't think I have. This one's giving me the run around. And I would say that probably, I'd say Rob has won it, with perhaps my brother second, but I reckon it's going to be relatively close, but one to finish on. And yeah, like I said, just 100% turned up too late. If we were fishing another hour, you could put a real weight together, because I mean, it's like the last 10 minutes I've had 5 fish last 10 minutes, both sort of, or all over a pound, so you can see how quick when they're there you can do a weight, but not to be today, unfortunately. Time to get packed up and get the weighing done. $15.9 I've got to beat Dave.
28.12.
Right, that is it. Pretty close in the end, so we'll just do a presentation. First things first, come on Dave. That's the most important thing.
Very bitter pill there.
That's the only thing I want today. Right, third by an ounce, beating Jack last, or the winter trophy winner is Peppa Pig.
Oh, awesome. Thanking you.
There we go. Second, Rob, 45.11.
Hello, Rob.
Hang on, you got that one yet?
And a free pen.
And a free pen. Cheers, Rob. And first, with a couple of pound more, and brother Matt Crowe, 47.4, taking top prize and the trophy.
This is one
Cheers.
Crowe in the family.
Yeah. Cheers, everyone. Well, that's it. We're home now. Unfortunately, not a victory again. I think I probably managed 5th in the end. But looking back, I've been chatting to Chris on the way back, and was there anything I'd do different? Actual fishing wise, probably not. Perhaps the only thing I said is I went longer down the edge at the end there, and I caught really well. But I think that generally was just because it's that time of day. There's a few people catching, and that does make a difference between the time of day. I think if I'd have went there early, I'd have perhaps killed it and not caught anything at all. It just didn't seem very productive where I was. But the one thing I would take from it, and I've taken from this, and anyone who's getting into match fishing, halfway through, an hour into it, like all the way up really until the last hour, I was really disheartened. And not that I got disinterested, but I think that I spent a bit too long perhaps on lines just wishing for it to go under rather than actually trying to force it and make it go under, trying different things. And that would probably be the thing I'd take from it and hand over from this match to anyone getting into it, is just generally don't give up. I mean, in the end, I think I've probably been, what, £17 behind. I haven't calculated it properly, but £17 over 5 hours is not a lot. I mean, even if they're a pound fish, I mean, you're talking 17 fish over 5 hours. That really isn't a lot. Now, could you have done that had you really screwed your head down? I don't think so. But, you know, I could have perhaps got into the frame had I really tried and not got a bit disheartened. So that's what I've taken from it, and I'm going to definitely try and have topped that, is just do not give up, because you never know. Them people who are winning at the end there, they were catching really well at the start, but they just stopped, and I had the role reversal, just didn't have long enough to catch him up. So definitely 100% keep going till the end. But I hope you've enjoyed it. It was enjoyable for us filming it. We're going to obviously go on and do the summer one and the autumn one, so we're going to have 4 matches a year. Fingers crossed eventually I'm going to win one, but it's not about that, is it? It's about seeing what we can learn. We take it on to the next one, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll see you again on the next one.